What's up, everybody? Welcome or welcome back to Tony Reads. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about some of the highly anticipated thriller new releases that I want to add to my collection. When I say add it to my collection, really it's like adding it into my Kindle library, but that has nothing to do with anything. So basically these books, either they're gonna come out in August or they've already just now came out this past like July-ish, or some of them early August. And so I really want to get my hands on these. When I was reading the summaries about these, I was like, dang, these books sound really good. Because sometimes like when I do like an anticipated read, you know, some of the books are real good, but like a lot of them are like kind of like mediocre, but just like I want to get my hands on something, so I end up putting them on my list. And then needless to say, I never end up reading them. But anyway, these all sound very good. So let's get this party started. Okay, so I want to remind you that these are not in any particular order. I want to actually read all 5 of them. The first one is We Are All Guilty Here by Karin Slaughter. Karin, for those people who read thriller books, Karin Slaughter is a very popular thriller author. Honestly, I think I own one of her books. I don't even know what it is, but I don't think I've ever read any of her books yet, but people keep saying that I will like her books. And so I really want to check this one out. This one, let's see. I think it just came out. It came out actually on August 12th. Yes, this is like brand new. It is on Kindle, but it's not on Kindle Unlimited. It's like $14.99, so I'm kind of like, eh. But it sounds so good that I think I kind of don't care. Now, the other thing that's kind of like a turn off to me for this book is that it's 448 pages. But like I always say, if the book is really good, like a total page turner, I'm okay with reading 4 something, but my high preference is 3 something, and preferably like the lower 300s. But anyway, that's beside the point. So it starts with Welcome to North Falls, a small town where everyone knows everyone, or so they think, until the night of the fireworks, when 2 teenage girls vanish and the town ignites. For Officer Emmy Clifton, it's personal. She turned away when her best friend's daughter needed help, and now she must bring her home. But as Emmy combs through the puzzle the girls left behind, she realizes she never really knew them. Nobody did. Every teenage girl has secrets, but who would kill for them? And what else is the town hiding? So on Amazon, this gets a 4.6 stars, and on Goodreads, it gets 4.4, which is actually pretty good. I like books that take place in a small town, and this North, whatever it's called, is a small town. I don't really like to read books that are just like people are missing and it's like a detective story or something like that. But when there's like hidden secrets, you know, in the background that they gotta uncover, and maybe it has something to do with like the cop or the, you know, detective or whatever that's looking for them, then that does attract my attention and it makes it sound interesting. Anyway, the Karin Slaughter, she's been recommended to me so many times that I just have a good feeling about this book and I really want to check it out. Like I said, the only thing that's kind of made me not want to, I was like, it's not on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to have to pay for it. And then secondly, it's 448 pages. But we'll see. I might do the little, I don't know, I might do the little preview or whatever and see what it sounds like on Kindle before I end up buying it. But yeah, it sounds really good. Okay, so the next book that I want to check out is called The Vow, and it's by an author named Stefanie, that's Stefanie, and I'm stressing that because when I was trying to go back and look for the information on this book, I was putting Steph and I couldn't find her. So it's Stefanie with the F, Stefanie London. I have not heard of this author before. She is, other people have heard of her clearly because she's a USA Today bestselling author, but I don't know what else she's came out with. This book has 352 pages and it actually came out August 19th, so just like a few days ago, so it's like practically new. So let's see, what does this say? It's the wedding of the year for all the wrong reasons. I vow to make you pay for what you did. 12 years ago, school friends Sophia, Ellie, and Rose made a vow. They promised never to talk about that fateful night, never tell anyone what they did. I love when there's some kind of fateful night in the past that people don't want to talk about and it's quote unquote what they did or somebody did or whatever. Since then, they've all followed very different paths, but as they come together to celebrate Ellie's destination wedding, it promises to be a weekend to remember. ... It is meant to be the event of the season, but as things start to go wrong, they suspect someone is trying to punish them. But if the women took a vow of silence, how can anyone know? And what lengths will they be willing to go to get their revenge? This one, I don't necessarily go by Goodreads, and like I said, I just like to mention it just for note. It only got 4.0 stars on Goodreads, and it got 4.2 on Amazon, but I don't really care. The storyline sounded really good. I don't know if I mentioned this already. It only has 352 pages, which is pretty good. And the storyline is something that I don't think I've ever read a book about a destination wedding before, so that seems really interesting to me. Again, like I always say, and of course in all thrillers pretty much, there's always some kind of secret or something like that people got uncovered, and they vow to never tell anybody and all this kind of stuff. And then it's just kind of creepy to me to be like at some destination wedding, and maybe perhaps there's some kind of killer going around or something like that. I would like a storyline like that. So I'm going to check this out. I do like to try out different authors, like besides Freida McFadden and Riley Sager all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the list. Okay, the next one on my list, I put a little star by it because out of the 5 books, this is the one that I want to read the most. Because I was like, oh my gosh, this is right up my alley. And this one is called Night Watcher, and it's by Daphne Woolsoncroft. Again, I never heard of this author before. This one is brand new as well. I believe it has 336 pages, which is awesome. And this one came out in July of 2025. So yeah, it's still basically brand new. It got 3.9 on Goodreads, who cares? And it got 4.2 on Amazon, which is fine or whatever. And I'm going to put it up there. I want you guys to see, I think all my books I'm going to show up there like I always do. I want you guys to see the cover. The cover looks like really spooky. And so that kind of caught my attention. The cover doesn't always mean, just because the cover is good, doesn't mean the book is going to be good. But I kind of like the way she did this, the foggy looking night with the trees. And you see a figure, I don't necessarily want to say it's a man, I don't know, a figure standing by one of the trees in the dark. So I like the way that looks. But anyway, in what Geneva Rose declares a chilling and atmospheric tale, Nola Strait, a late-night radio host in Portland, Oregon, listens to stories of hauntings and cryptic sightings for a living. That's very interesting to me. But one foggy evening, a caller describes an eerie scene that triggers memories of Nola's childhood escape from a serial killer, and she fears he's back to finish what he started. Oh my God, this is so me. Nola Strait is being watched again. After an encounter with a notorious serial killer in the Pacific Northwest as a child, Nola has grown up and tried her best to forget her traumatizing night with the Hiding Man. That's what the serial killer's name was, the Hiding Man. She installed security cameras outside her Oregon home, never spoke of her experience, and now hosts Night Watch, a popular radio call-in show her semi-famous father used to run. When coincidences lead Nola to believe that she's being stalked, and a caller on Night Watch has a live incident with an intruder in the caller's home, that's crazy, the description of whom is chillingly familiar, Nola is convinced that the Hiding Man has resurfaced and is coming for her. I don't like to read horror, but if a thriller book has like a serial killer in it, I really like that in the storyline. With a mysterious next door neighbor lurking in the shadows, more people getting hurt, the police not taking her concerns seriously, and evidence pointing towards her own father. Ooh, that's a good little twist right there. Nola decides to become, like her listeners, a night watcher herself and uncover the monster behind the Hiding Man's mask. This sounds so good. I can't wait to read this one. 336 pages, that's perfect. I never heard of this author before. She might be brand new. Geneva Rose, who's a wonderful thriller author, gave this, a really good rating or whatever. So I'm really looking forward to this book. This is something that's totally different than what I've ever read. Okay, so the next book is called Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I've never read any Holly Jackson books before, but I've heard of her before. It's got 4.3 on Amazon and 4.2 on Goodreads, which is fine. Not Quite Dead. Let's see. This one Yeah. So this one has 400 pages, so yeah, you know, but if it's good, I could stick with something like that. And it came out in July of 2025, so basically brand new. Here's what caught my eye on this one. A roller coaster ride of page-turning suspense and knockout twists. I know you're probably thinking, yeah, they say that about a lot of thrillers and everything, but it's not what they said, it's who said it. That is a quote by Frida McFadden, who is my favorite author. If Frida McFadden likes a book, I don't think I've ever read a book that she recommended that I didn't like. I think this one is going to be awesome. So let me get to the description of it. Let's see. In 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is a daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont. 27 years old and back home, she's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time. Until Halloween night, when she is violently attacked by an unseen intruder, suffering a catastrophic head injury. Doctors are certain that within a week, the injury will trigger a fatal aneurysm. To her parents' dismay, Jet rejects an extremely risky operation in order to guarantee herself at least a few more days. Jet never thought of herself as having enemies, but now, in the 1 week she has left, she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend, turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. As her condition deteriorates, she reconnects with her childhood friend, Billy, the only one willing to help her. With Billy at her side, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. So again, I like what Frida McFadden said about it. I'm not gonna lie, because she recommended it, so it's like almost guaranteed that I'm gonna read it. But this storyline is something very different, because when it was saying she wants to solve her own murder, when it was saying not quite dead yet, I was like, okay, what is that like really gonna mean or whatever? And now I kind of see like I guess she's gonna be in the hospital or whatever it is. She's real sick, like a life-threatening injury or whatever. And in this little span of time, she's going to try to figure out who the intruder was or whatever. So this seemed like it's going to be like really action-packed. Actually, this author, Holly Jackson, is the author of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is a Netflix series, a hit Netflix series. And I never watched that show, but actually maybe that might be kind of interesting too. I might have to check that out. But anyway, this one sounds really good, and I cannot wait to read it. Okay, last but definitely not least is a book called She Didn't See It Coming by Shari Lapena. And I have absolutely heard of Shari Lapena before, and I know I've read at least one book by her before, and I did like it. So, I feel pretty confident that I might like this one as well. 4.1 on Goodreads, 4.4 on Amazon. This one is 352 pages, which is not bad at all, and it came out July 29th, so this one's brand new as well. And let's see what this is about. When a beloved wife and mother disappears, a luxurious condo building transforms into a potential crime scene, and the investigation begins. Can the detectives find her before it's too late? Bryden and Sam have it all. Thriving careers, a smart apartment in a luxury condominium, supportive friends, and a cherished daughter. The perfect life for the perfect couple. Then Sam receives a call at his office. Bryden, working from home that day, has failed to collect their daughter from the daycare. Arriving home with their little girl, he finds his wife's car in the underground garage. Upstairs in their apartment, her laptop is open on the table, her cell phone nearby, her keys in their usual place in the hall. Except Bryden is nowhere to be seen. It's as if she just walked out. How could she have disappeared from her own home? And did she even leave the building at all? With every minute that passes and as questions swirl around their community, Bryden and Sam's past seems a little less perfect, their condominium less safe, their friends, neighbors, and relatives no longer quite so reliable. This, for one, like I said, I've read a book, at least one book by this author, maybe more, I've definitely heard of, and this author's been recommended. The book just sounds really good. I've said this many times before, I like books that take place in like an apartment complex or condominium complex or something like that. I like it sometimes when they're in the same place, like even, like Ward B in a Psycho Ward, or something like that. You have to be a really good author to make me stick with it if it's in one place. But like I've read books that take place mostly in the same place that were really good. For example, I can't even remember a book by Riley Sager that I really, really, really like. It took place in this apartment complex. A luxury apartment complex at that, and I really love that book. So I do like that kind of theme. This, again, It's just something that I haven't read anything like this before. It says somebody, Lucy Foley, who is, I believe, a known thriller author, says stunning with whiplash, twists, and turns. I like when people say that. I want there to be twists and turns. I don't like to get bored. And I decided when I get bored in books, I'm just going to start DNFing them because I don't like to waste my time. Yeah, that's my last one. That's 5. That's enough to put on my TBR. You know, it's getting close to like Halloween spooky season and everything. So I'm getting excited about that. I'm hoping even in addition to these that some more good, creepy thrillers come out. I think actually Frida McFadden might have one coming out in October, maybe The Intruder or something like that, or it might be a different one or whatever. But, you know, I'm looking forward to anything that Frida comes out with. But anyway, if you like this video, thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and notifications button. Also, I still do take recommendations. There's, even if it's an old book. Some of you guys been telling me to read a book called Dark Matter. Like, you've been saying that kind of for a while. And I never picked it up because it seemed like it's a science fiction, but somebody at work actually recommended it, and based on the things I told them about what I like, they said that I would like that one. So just please keep the recommendations coming. It's hard. I just kind of do, when I look up books to read, it's this, you know, I like people to do the work for me or whatever. And maybe some of you like me to do the work for you or whatever. But yeah, go ahead and give recommendations. I can't guarantee that I'll read all of them or like all of them or anything, but I would like to look into them. You guys, if you've been on my channel before, you know that Frida McFadden is my favorite author. So I like stuff that's, they call it popcorn thrillers or whatever. I do like that. I don't like it too deep like that Silent Patient or whatever that a lot of people recommended to me. It was just too much and I got bored or whatever. I like stuff that's just like a page turner. Very exciting, you know, and just keeps me on my toes and everything. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.